And you take all of that and you package it up and you make it so easy. And it just feels like it released all of these unknowns and this ambiguity and these tensions inside and gave me concrete tools that I can then use from then on to describe ourselves and our company and our team to people in a way that just feels resonant and true.
Hey everyone, Ree Perez here, CEO and founder of Branding for the People. And today I have a very special friend, client, and a guest who I'm going to be sharing with his experience of going through the branding process and perhaps something you can learn for yourself as you're thinking about looking at what's available for you in the branding process and what is branding specifically. So today I'm going to introduce James Ure of FamilyC. James, welcome.
Hey, thanks, Ree. I'm excited to be here with you.
I'm super pumped to have this conversation with you for many different reasons. But for those people who don't know you, do me a favor and why don't you just share a little bit about who you are and what is FamilyC?
Yeah, sure. I would love to. So FamilyC is a personal development company that empowers families to what we call consciously create the family lives that they want. And we started FamilyC with kind of like two twin passions. They are to reduce suffering and elevate consciousness in family life.
I love that. Prior to going through the branding process for FamilyC, what was the problem that you were trying to solve through branding?
Yeah, well, I'll tackle the problem we were solving with FamilyC, the current company that you helped us brand. And, you know, if you think about family life, it's a delicate topic. It causes all of us to bump into our stuff. We have lots of vulnerabilities and insecurities that parenting and being in a long-term relationship and having children, it all brings about. And we really needed a brand that immediately felt safe for both men and women to be honest and vulnerable, and also at the same time instilling in them confidence in our ability to act as guides in this space.
Yeah.
So that was the problem that we had.
Why did you decide to go through the branding process at the onset of giving birth to this new baby, this new business?
Well, the reason I had the confidence to do that is because we had worked with you and BFTP on a prior brand. And in that experience, maybe I can tell you a little bit about what that did for me and how I knew what I was going to be able to get from the second time around. Yeah. Because it was kind of a surprise how much I got from that first experience. One of the things that I've long admired about you is your ability to create a process that works. I feel like so much of what your gift is and what the process that your team uses is to take the unconscious, my deepest motives, our deeper story and narratives, our distinguishing characteristics that we sense but don't know how to put our finger on, and we don't know how to name them in a way that the market will understand what we're saying. And you take all of that and you package it up and you make it so easy, and it just feels like it released all of these unknowns and this ambiguity and these tensions inside and gave me concrete tools that I can then use from then on to describe ourselves and our company and our team to people in a way that just feels resonant and true. And I would just add to that, it really translated well in two ways. It was the words and phrases that you coined.
Yeah.
I was surprised at several points when you or one of your team members would say, it sounds like what you're getting at is this. And you'd coin a certain phrase. And I would be like, it would have taken me months to coin that phrase. And you just pop that thing out and it just hits so hard. So it's the words and phrases, and it is also the visuals. And especially in the second company, we've had your company, your designers create a suite of visuals for us. And those visuals, I have been amazed at how well, like when I think about why do I do branding? Why did I decide to brand in the first place? What is branding to me? To me, branding is the way that you give potential customers the feelings that they'll have when they interact with you before they interact with you.
Yeah.
So it's just a way that to convey feelings to people, to let people know who we are. And the intuitive skills of your designers and their creativity and just how talented they are at creating visuals of all different kinds that all convey those same feelings in different ways for different purposes. That has been fantastic. And I just feel like that has liberated us so much. So it's the words, the phrases, all of that, and the visuals all in this kind of like framework that is accessible that I can use over and over again. So yeah.
What might you say to that person who might be a little skeptical of this, touchy feely kind of visual stuff?
Yeah. Well, I can think of that from two perspectives. I can think of that as a business owner myself and the feelings and thoughts and values that I want to convey to our customers through our branding. And I can also think of it as a customer. When I think of the email that come to my inbox, I can tell when someone was a good writer. And I can tell when that person only thinks linearly. And that only appeals to half of me. I like to write. I appreciate good writing. I appreciate those words and phrases and the power that those can have.
Yeah.
And I also feel that when I'm interacting with a brand that only does that, I think you've got a good copywriter, but I don't think creatively and holistically when I'm interacting with your copy. I think linearly. And so when there's an aligned graphic branding that comes through with the words, then I think this person is thinking, this person is holistic, and they can help me experience their brand and their benefits, not just in words, but in visuals, which just tells me that they've got this additional creative capacity that good writers who are just the brand don't. They just don't. To me as a customer.
What I love about that, so it's interesting because there's a couple things that I heard in what you said. So one, it's the degree of clarity. And so in the world of, being a business owner, there's so many things that can be unclear. And so when you have that clarity at the onset, that in and of itself is an intangible benefit, right? So when you're more clear, then it makes it easier for you to be for other people to understand and receive what you're sharing. And then the second thing is confidence. And right. And so if you're more confident in what you're offering and how you're speaking and knowing that everything is all in sync, I always say that confidence breeds trust. And at the end of the day, we all buy from people, companies, brands that we trust, like and respect. Right. And so that confidence is a key factor. And then you were kind of pointing to this earlier, this sort of thing of like, okay. And I just want to check in if this is the case, is one of the other benefits is the ability to now then be able to charge more than what than what you might have charged in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely it. And the branding process was a direct player in that, in the founding of this company, as we were really leaning into what is our value contribution and what's our price point. We felt deeply that we had a very high value proposition here, and that the price point, we wanted it to be equal to that.
Yes.
And it wasn't really until we went through the branding process and I saw that I would have the ability to convey that value proposition through words and images, that I felt confident enough to ask for that price point. There was a direct correlation there that the process itself of working with you guys helped me to have the confidence to ask for the value that our contribution brought.
Oh, that's so good, James. because I like to tell people this all the time. It's like, listen, they say, oh, what should I charge for this new thing? Or what should I charge for this offering? And I always feel like there's like an energetic alignment. Like I can tell you what to charge, but it wouldn't matter necessarily until you fully integrate who you are, what you stand for, the value. And then when you say the price that matches with energetically where you are, then it's a no-brainer.
That hits hard for me. And it makes me remember the first couple of times that I pitched somebody and shared the price point. And I remember feeling like, I feel good. I'm not questioning this price point.
Yeah.
And also I'm very curious to see in this person's eyes what they do when I give them this price point.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It hit. It was like, there wasn't a second guess. It was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. And they could tell from the visuals and the branding that we'd already had done that we were very intentional. We were going to be keeping our promises. We were going to deliver high value. And they just read all the breadcrumbs surrounding it to get that image of, okay, this is how much that value proposition is. Yeah. And I agree that there is that internal work to do to get my energy aligned with that.
That's right.
And I think that we both kind of hit having you at the same time I was going through that was just perfect.
Awesome. Well, listen, part of why I wanted to interview is so that people can learn more about you, what you're doing with FamilyC, and hopefully they're inspired, not just about branding, but also that they see something available for themselves, because there's, unlike anything, or at least I haven't experienced a company or a brand that's doing exactly what you're doing in the way that you're doing with the intentionality that you're doing it. And so hopefully it provides an opportunity to be inspired to like, let me go check out FamilyC and see, what might be possible for them and their family. In addition to, seeing what's available for them with branding. So with that being said, what advice would you give to someone who is thinking about going through the branding process, or thinking about going through the branding process with Branding for the People, but they're unsure, or they're, because it is so abstract, but they're on the fence? What advice would you give them?
I would encourage everybody to think about their long game. What does this business mean for you? What does it mean in the narrative of your life? What does it mean about the character you're becoming in your narrative? And what are some of the outcomes that you want for this character, for this business, for your life? And how would you feel empowered if you had a partner and a guide on that journey who could help you understand more about who you are, who was particularly gifted at showing where you fit in the marketplace, what your unique value contributions are, what your unique attributes are, and even you as a person, as the leader of a company, what makes you unique? To have a guide who can help you into that process and step into a new and bigger role, and step into confidence to ask for more value than you have in the past for yourself. And the clarity to say, this is who I am and this is who I'm not. All of that has such tangible and intangible positive impact that I would strongly encourage you to say yes to that process. And if you're not quite ready, I would look inside and ask, what am I afraid of? Because it does bump you into yourself big time. And that's the value of it. And also that's the challenge of it. And so maybe things that you're saying are external obstacles, price or time or whatever else, are really the result of something internal that you're hesitating to look at. And I would just say, take a look, because when you deal with that unconscious stuff and get it up into the conscious realm, everything flows. That's where flow hits. And so I would encourage you to go for it.
I just love supporting, you and what you're up to. So thank you so much for just taking the time and share your experience and with Branding for the People, to share your your insights and wisdom that I think every entrepreneur and business owner can learn from. So I look forward to hearing more about your future successes and all the transformations that are going to happen as a result of what you're creating with FamilyC. So I just appreciate you. And until the next time, James, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Rhea. It feels so good to be able to share with others what you've done for me. So we'll see you next time.
All right. We'll see you soon. Cheers.